Okay, so let's take a look at how you can draw the area chart in Python using Matplotlib, right? So what we can do, we can open one terminal. Then first thing we'll have to do is we'll have to install our Matplotlib. So we type in pip install Matplotlib, right? Once this is installed, next would be our Jupyter lab. So Jupyter, then lab, right? Once you have these two things installed, you can go to simply Jupyter_lab. Alternatively, you can also use Jupyter notebook, right? Either one of that should work. In my case, I am choosing Jupyter lab because I want to open the Jupyter lab server to open the notebook, and the new interface is different from the classic notebook interface. So we open the notebook, and here we will be writing the code. So first thing, import numpy as np. We'll also import matplotlib dot pyplot. I often make mistakes typing and later realize it in error, so I'm paying attention now, right? So what we have to do now is come up with some data. So we have like 1 to 6 these options, then y, where we have 1, 4, 6, 8 and 4 as our y data, right? Now we will be using plot dot fill between, right? So fill between is the function that allows us to fill the area between the lines, right? The line that we draw using x and y will be filled with a color. So currently we are letting system decide the color, right? So if we use plt dot show, that would basically draw our plot. So if I run this, select all, then shift enter, or simply use this enter button. Notice that we have this line starting from this to this. Now fill between will fill these dots, right, so with the color, right? So we got the basic plot, right? Now let's say if I'm in a mode to change the color, so what I can do, I can type in color equals to sky blue or something like that, right? So we have like sky blue color. If we run this, right, so that's one of the change that we notice. We can also make it more transparent using this alpha parameter, so 0.2, right? So it will be much more transparent with this alpha value. So let's run this. Notice it is now more transparent, right? Now we can also use plot function. So plt.plot, right? So we offer it x, y, and also color, say stale blue, right? So something like that should also work, right? So alpha we set to 0.4, right? So if we try to draw this, let's see what happens, right? So let's try and see the okay, so we will go with orange, if not stale blue or slate blue. I'm kind of confused, so it has to be the slate blue, not stale blue, right? So let's run this, and there we have, right? Okay, and we also have our line with our previous color being the fill between, right? So slate blue being our line, sky blue being our fill between along with the alpha value, right? Now that looks much cleaner as well, right? So if you want to experiment with the various colors, you can do so. You can also add some sort of array where you can pass down the colors, maybe even make gradient. That would be possible as well, right? So if you want to try the fill color option, you can also see if you can do so with something like G, and if you run this, see, green, right? So if we try something like this, R, right? So there are colors that you can try out and experiment along with alpha value, and you will get a lot easy to view color ranges. Now next thing, we can also modify these charts with various customization, right? So let's say if I choose to add title, so plt dot title, and let's say area chart field, right? So that's my current role for this plot title, and if I use LOC for this, and let's say LOC, I want to use it for left, right? So LOC is location. So if I run this, the area chart field location is left. I can experiment with right and see the output. So right and then center, right? And if I select all, run, we have it in center, right? Now the thing is, I can also experiment with x and y axis titles. So plt dot x label, and here I can see value of x, right, and close the bracket. So if we do this, this will add some text to our x-axis value of x, right? Now let's see if I want to do the same for y-axis. So plt dot y label. Now within this function, I can pass on value of y, right? So if we run this, that should also do the value for y, right? So we managed to do that as well, and we also played with colors, right? We can also add a few things like edge color and line width. So basically those are for our plot, right? Or you can use that for fill between, but for plot that would be more reasonable. So if I try and add, say, edge color, so edge color equals to R, right? And then line width, right? So line width I want to set to 2, and if I run this, let's see what happens. So the thing is, data, if data is not none else quarks, right? So should be for, so plot y versus curves and or markers. So there seems to be error with where this is particularly placed. So try and experiment with this edge color. So the line we will try and change for in between fill, and now you see we have our custom border. So the parameters were for fill between function, right? Also we managed to change the color here, which we can also do for plot, but those won't be specific for our area field here, right? So kind of a recap what we have done so far. We first managed to draw the area chart, right? For that we just took the value of xy and use fill between function, right? We passed x and y values to that fill between function, and we managed to show our basic area chart, right? Then we added a few things like color, right? And we managed to change the color. Then we added transparency with alpha, right? We also used this color slate blue and alpha for our plot function. So by adding the plot function, we completed this particular line along with fill between, right? Now after that, what we did is we completed our chart with title of this particular chart as plt.title function, then .x level, then y level, so x and y values respectively. Also we managed to change the color, right, to this single letter option, so R, G, or maybe B along with the alpha, that gives you results like this, right? Then there is edge color and line width. These things kind of changed our output. We managed to draw the area chart with fill between and plot function. So we managed to do this in Python with the help of Matplotlib, and we also used NumPy for our data, right? So if you are experiment with area chart, you can try these examples. There is also stacked area chart, but that would require a separate discussion, so you may find this particular example useful in your case, right? So you may want to give this one a try and see how your results go.